I'm Jim Monaghan. This is Steve Hayward. We're both from Professional Baseball Instruction and the Baseball Health Network. And welcome to Pro Tips here at PBI. One of the things that Steve and I want to address today are the pros and cons of fall baseball, specifically with how it relates to pitching. And Steve, you and I both have some experience with this. We're both coaching fall teams at different age levels. And you saw something in the game recently that you wanted to bring to attention.
Yeah, I have an issue with the societal change that we have now, that we want our kids to play up and we want our kids to get to the big field. And everybody's in such a rush to get their kids to be more competitive and to challenge their kids more. And I think that there are younger kids at ages 9 and 10 that are playing on the 50-70 field that physically aren't capable of doing it, and especially some of the 12 and 13-year-olds I see making the move to the major league size field, and it's going to be detrimental to their careers.
Now, here at PBI, our league that we run in the fall, a lot of teams, and we do it ourselves, we'll take an age level and we'll start to upgrade them. For example, our 11s are going to 50-70 for the first time. Our 12s now are back at 50-70. This should be their second full season. Some of the teams in our league are sticking with 13U 50-70. We go up to 60-90. The kids have been playing 50-70. What are the pros and cons of bumping these kids up a field size in the fall, where traditionally it's a little less competitive?
Sure. I don't think the age is not the factor. The physical size and maturity of the kid. I mean, you could take a 14-year-old kid that looks like he's 12, and you could take a 12-year-old kid that looks like he's 14. So I don't think it's so much about the age than it is the physical maturity of each player.
Now, we had something in a game the other day where I've been coaching a boy who's had some arm issues in the past, but he's been training, he's been rehabbing, he's been on a specific program, and we've built him up. Yesterday, he went out, he threw about 90 pitches, looked fine, didn't walk anybody. Was that too much? This is a 14-year-old high school freshman. Was that too much at this stage, do you think?
To me, it all depends on what you did in the previous seasons. If you did 2 months of winter training, you had a 2-month spring season, you had a 2 to 3 month summer season, then as a pitcher, bumping him up 10 feet further than he's normally used to pitching, I think is a little bit excessive. Because at this point of the season, as far as arm strength goes, kids are on the backside, strength-wise, fatigue-wise. They're pretty fatigued from the previous 2 seasons. So I think it is very dangerous to if a kid has played the previous 2 seasons, to bump him up 10 feet in the fall.
Now, you saw something in a game the other night where boys had gone from the 46-60 field, and this is the way it was when I was a kid. We didn't have 50-70. We went right from that Little League field up to the full-size field.
Sure.
That's an incredible jump for a young man to make.
Yeah, I watched a game last night that was being played prior to my game being played, and I watched kids that were 12 and 13 years old, and I saw six separate pitchers throw. One of the 6 pitchers was physically capable of reaching home plate. The other 5 kids, I was actually infuriated watching how much these kids were struggling just to throw the ball. Their pitching mechanics were completely gone. You could tell that it looked like home plate looked like it was a half a mile away, and they were just reaching back and throwing the ball with nothing but their arm, and they were out there throwing 40, 50 pitches each.
So for kids who have been playing spring and summer, and now they're continuing to play fall ball, and we've done another video on this. We took one of our 14U players, and we showed what a pitcher can and should be doing midweek, because you do want to keep throwing in the middle of the week. You can't just go from Sunday game to Sunday game with nothing in between. But for kids who are playing fall ball, what do you recommend that they should be doing at this time of year to help maintain or build up arm strength?
Well, many of the kids that we work with here, they play fall baseball on the weekends. There's no practices during the week. They might play a doubleheader Saturday, 1 game on Sunday, vice versa. But you got to throw it during the week. There's got to be some type of recovery routine when you're done pitching, and there has to be some type of maintenance and conditioning program throughout the week.
How much time should a kid be taking off from season to season?
Well, around here it's hard. I mean, obviously the spring season rolls right into the summer season, and the summer season, typically you get a couple of weeks prior to the fall season starting. So I think that 2-week break is sufficient. But again, if we're putting kids on fields where they're not physically capable of handling, that rest is pretty much for naught.
Now, the fall season for many leagues, and including the PBI League, will end beginning mid-November. What do you recommend downtime there? Because a lot of winter training programs start late November or early December.
Sure. I mean, when it comes to winter training programs, it doesn't mean you have to pitch. You shouldn't be pitching, especially if you just played 3 straight seasons. But you can throw the ball. I see all this research out there and people's opinions that you should never throw the ball, but there's nothing wrong with playing catch at 50 feet, 40 or 50 throws at a 50% intensity level, just to keep the consistency of your motion, keep your feel for the ball. But winter training is also about getting your body back in shape, helping it recover, but also getting it stronger.
If you want more information, you can go to baseballclinics.com, the Baseball Health Network's website, baseballhealthnetwork.com, or call us here at PBI 800-282-4638. For professional baseball instruction and the Baseball Health Network, I'm Jim Monaghan, and this is Steve Hayward.